Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the podcast today. In the podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to go through what I want to achieve in 2025. I did a newsletter about this yesterday, mrselfstorage.com. Sign up there, it's completely free. And I got loads of replies, so I thought I'd do an actual episode about it on here, on the podcast, because I think it's good. I'm trying to actually find it so I know what my goals are. There we go. I found it. Yeah, I do think it's really, really important, setting points throughout the year to have a look and reevaluate where our life is going. And at the start of a new year is a perfect time. And so what I like to do is I like to high level, what are my goals? And then it takes me maybe a couple of hours because I already know roughly what my goals are going to be because I've been thinking about them for some time. And then what I want to do is strategize how I'm going to get there, plan how I'm going to get there. And so I'm going to be really, really open and honest with you guys and tell you what I did good in 2024, what I did bad, and then what I want to improve. It's only going to be a quick one because the wife is already texted me saying, "Are you ready to go?" Because we're going to the circus. So I've got to be quick. But I do think it's important for me to get it out there because I want to document it to keep me accountable as well. And so it's nice that I'm putting it out there because then if I'm like thinking, "Oh no, I can't be asked," then I've got to because I've told you guys, so thousands of people that what I'm going to do, and I don't want to look like a mug in front of people. Although last year I bet my kids that I'd get a six pack by the end of the year. And needless to say, I lost that bet. Do you know what? If I didn't like mucky beer so much, I'd have won that bet because I ran shed loads. I did go off a gym for I've got like a problem with my arm there. When I go back like that, it really hurts. And don't get me wrong, I could have gone to gym a lot more, but I use that as an excuse. I hurt my back as well, but I could have gone to gym a lot more. And for the past like 3 months, I've probably been once or twice. So I've really let myself down in that department. But in a positive, I've done good at going for my runs as well. I've enjoyed my running because I get the best ideas when I go out there. So what I'm going to do is give you the list of it, and then I think it was 12th or 13th. Me and my wife are going on to Tenerife for 3 or 4 days. Haven't quite booked it yet, and then that is when I've told the wife that in the morning I am working, and then in the afternoons, then we can, go for a walk or whatever. I can listen to podcasts, go for a run and stuff, and use it as a real retreat and focus. Right? Okay, I want to get a link. I want to get a YouTube. I want to channel. Right? What do I do? How do I get it? What do I do? And really strategize and put a plan in place, a tangible plan that I can look at and refer to. Because it's okay having my goals, but then that's where if you don't do something with the goals, if you don't have a way of meeting them goals, of hitting them goals, then a lot of the time the goals just going to fall by the wayside because there's no roadmap to get there. So that's what I like to do. I like to have a high level, what are the goals, and I like to have a roadmap of how to get to them goals. And that is what I'm going to be doing when we go to Tenerife. Right, let's have a look. I've got 4 main buckets this year. I've got health, I've got business, I've got family, and I've got relationships. And they're all very, very important to me. But I've got to say, and I sound a right doofus saying this, and I didn't put it in the newsletter because I sound like a doofus, and I tried to write it, but I couldn't put it into words that didn't make me sound like an idiot. And so I'm going to try and talk so I don't sound like an idiot here. Right, here we go. Health is number one. Yes, it's more important than business. Yes, it's more important than family. Yes, it's more important than relationships. And why is that? It's because when you're on an airplane, they always say put your own gas mask on first, or whatever, the mask on first. Because if you pass out, you can't help anybody else. So that is the same analogy going to my life. If I go for a run, if I go to the gym, guess what? I show up as a better human. I show up as a better dad. I show up as a better husband. And the wife's looking at me through the window right now. And so for me, health has to be number one. I've got to show myself in the best possible light. And to do that, I need to have the health dialed in. I need to feel if I run, I feel a bit anxious and anxiety. I don't know what it is. It's just like, it's my drug. And so I need to put that first. And quite often, obviously, you don't because of business and then family. And it has the back end of this year, it's definitely took a third or fourth place. Like today, for example, I woke up this morning, I put business first because obviously the last day of the course is today. There'll be a link in the show notes, by the way, if you want to buy the course. And yeah, I've said I put health first. It says it's the 2nd of January, and I put business before health. I didn't go for a run because I needed to do my core sales. So yeah, I need to get better at that. Right, so here we go. Let's start with health. I want to visit the gym 156 times. I'm going to take a note of every single time I go. That's an average of 3 times a week. I want to run 1,300 miles. That's an average of 25 miles a week. I think I should smash that one as long as I don't get injured. And I want to up my daily step count. I did say 20,000, but you know what? 20,000, sometimes you just think, oh, I can't do it. And then you fall off a cliff and you think, well, I can't hit 20. And so yeah, it's important for me to get that step count up. For the last 3 years, I've hit average of 15,000 steps per month. And during the last few days of December, I had to go for a walk on an evening on my own in the freezing cold, just walking around the streets at 11 o'clock to make sure I got the 15,000 steps in. And I did it I got 1,500 steps over for the month, an average of, I think I got 15,050, which is 1,500 steps over for the month. So it only just, right. So there we go. I just mentioned here that I bet my kids a 6-pack, which I didn't get. Right, business. I want to have at least 10 self-storage sites up and running. We have an amazing, amazing opportunity in self-storage, and it'd be crazy for me not to push on and really maximize it. So yeah, I want at least 10 self-storage sites. I've got 6 now. I'm ahead of the times with 1 more, so that's 7. I want over 5,000 newsletter subscribers. Currently, we're on 778. I think we're on 779 now. I have a lot of strategies to grow this, but I won't bore you. So again, when I sit down in Tenerife, I can take my time, have a beer, and just sit there and relax and think, okay, how are we going to get there? Right, when he's gone more podcasts, etc. So there's a clear, or there will be a clear roadmap. I do have ideas, but there will be a clear roadmap by the time I finish it. YouTube. I want to set up a completely dedicated YouTube channel, 1 video a week. I'm really excited about it. I'll talk about it tomorrow as well because I want to tell you guys because I feel excited by it. I want to sell £1 million in course sales, and all will be invested in Stormore's growth. And I thought, buy my course now. So buy my course. I don't know if I'll be doing it. I don't know if I'll be selling the course again after this year. I will be selling it this year, but the price will be going up. I think around about £5,000. That's where I've been advised to put it, and well, it's life changing. If you only open 1 self storage, 2,800. I'm selling it for now. Is definitely worth it. If you only increase your sales by 10%, 2,800 definitely worth it. But the problem is, I am giving all my secrets away, and so why would I keep doing that? If I can sell £1 million, then I won't need to sell it again because I can reinvest that money into pay off debts and stuff and make the company obviously a lot better because £1 million in revenue is awesome. So yeah, I won't need to do it in 2026. So that is one goal. And I've paid £45,000 for an awesome consultant for 10 weeks. Yeah, I'm a big believer in paying. She's world class, worked with some of the best in the industry. And she said, Dean, I'll have you £1 million, no problem, before the end of November. It'll be, she said, a piece of cake. So, because how good the course is, obviously, post 5 times a week on LinkedIn, Monday to Friday. I've been pretty consistent with that for the last few months. That's good. Put on a conference for the first time. All profits going to charity. Yes, I want to. When I'm at conferences, honestly, I get anxiety. I really do. I'm worried that I'm terrible at remembering names. And so people come up to me and start talking to me. I'm like, I don't know your name. And then I get flustered. I don't like it because I feel bad that I've forgotten their name. And I don't know. I just get, honestly, it just scares me. Conferences scare me. But I thought, right, if I put on my own, it'll be a little bit different. I went to Vegas and I felt okay there, but it still felt a little bit funny. So yeah, I noticed the introvert in me. I think I've done a test and I'm 60% introvert, 40% extrovert. So sometimes I'm extroverted, sometimes I'm introverted, and yeah, honestly, I get such anxiety about the conferences. I don't know why, but I'm being honest with you guys, and that's why I don't think I'm going to go to the UK one, because I don't know, I don't like the feeling I get. So that's my problem and issue, right? Get better at replying to emails and messages. Yeah, I'm shocking at this. I'm really, really sorry. I am terrible at it. I have the best intentions of replying and then forget. So I'm going to try and get better at that. And there's something, my friends have said exactly the same. Finally, to have less cash flow problems, I've got to change the habit of a lifetime. But the problem is, if I keep expanding the way I am, like Mansfield's £1 million. Where do I get £1 million from? I've got to borrow. Borrowing costs, and and then it puts more cash flow problems on for the first few months or whatever, few years, and then it's always a stress. But the business is growing, and so that's what happens. And ultimately, people close to me, my mentors say, well, my family get worried about how much that I stress about cash flow problems. But my mentors completely understand it because they said, Dean, you've got an opportunity for a lifetime here. And I just think that, okay, so I've got to worry a little bit about cash flow and be careful. And I've that on my mind all the time. But then we're building this colossal company that we're going to sell for 50, 60, 70, 80, £100 million. And I just feel like if I've got to put myself under a little bit of stress and a little bit of strain for a few years, because then it will get better, the cash flow, then so be it. And because I'm wary of it, and I know I'm like a risk taker. But like Dan Bradbury, he is very, very much not. He goes mad when I call him risk averse. He said he's careful, sensible. But even Dan says, "Ding, you're golden, you're golden." And so I have got people around me that keep me aware of these things, and just to make sure that, because I'm like always glasses half full, party time, everything's fantastic. As you can imagine, I am quite a positive person. And so I've got to be careful not to, I won't see the pitfalls. And so I need people around me that'll see the pitfalls and see when, okay, you're a little bit getting a little bit closer, Dean. If this happens, then you're in trouble. And so that's why I've got an FD now as well. So yeah, that's my business ones that I want to do. Overall, 2024 was awesome for the business. It really, really was good. I put here, I've got an FD called Claire. Straight away, she's given me some strategies to improve cash flow, which has been awesome. I put that I think the course sales will definitely help. I mean, we saw well over 5 figures this in December, which is more. To be honest, I was thinking if I sell 4, because I only just released it in Black Friday to the waiting list. If I sell 4, I'll be over the moon, because that's over 10 grand. But we've done more than that, and so I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And there's a chance that 40, 50K, which obviously is brilliant. So yeah, there's So I don't know. I always feel bad talking about money. I put, cough, cough, here's me wanting to sell you the course. But you guys already know, you'll be on my newsletter, so you've seen it about my course. Right, family. I love spending time with family, and I know the kids will always want to spend weekends and holidays with me. I put, probably the wife won't either. So I'm going to continue to prioritize spending as much time with them as possible on school holidays and weekends. School holidays are a no for me for work. I don't work school holidays. I don't work full time. I work, obviously, I've got to work a little bit because I've got a business behind me. But obviously, I still do the newsletter and stuff like that, and still do podcasts. But I try to spend as much time as possible with the kids, and I'll continue to do this. I have a very good, amazing relationship with mum and dad, and I want to continue to focus on that. I know how lucky I am to still have a mum and dad as well, so that I feel very, very blessed. Relationships, right? I want to focus on friendship more this year. I want to reply to friends more. It's well known. It's not just you guys I don't reply to. I don't reply to anybody. And I'll be honest, when I'm spinning so many plates, the business and the family, it takes up like all my thought process, everything. And when I get messages and stuff, I'm going to be really, really honest. I get quite a lot of messages because I do feel like I'm quite a popular popular person. And so I've got quite a lot of friends and a friends circle and a friends group and stuff, which is awesome. And if I'm honest, I probably do take it for granted. And I don't reply because I think I'm going to reply and I forget to reply. And I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot to reply. And then I don't reply. And because I'm so focused on business and family that then I don't really have a lot of time for other things. And I just see the messages come in and think, oh, yeah, I'll reply. And I don't. And so, yeah, I'm going to focus on that more. I'm going to focus on friendships more. I'm going to spend more time with my friends as well. Even though I want to spend time with my family, it's hard because when you're a bloke, the only time really us blokes spend time with each other is on an evening. Evening, my kids are at home, my wife's at home, and then weekends because everybody's normally working. I can spend time during the day because I'm lucky, but my other mates can't. There'll be builders, there'll be whatever. They're doing other things, so I can't spend time with them during the day. So the only time I can spend time with them is on an evening when they've got family, I've got family, and then weekends when we're exactly the same. So I've got a vets team, football team, but we had a charity match over Christmas and it was awesome. I scored a goal and then we all went out, have a drink. We do it every year. But the vets team was like saying, Dean, you've got to start playing more. You've got to start playing more. We only play every other week. You can play with us. I'm like, yeah, I want to. But and then I don't end up. So yeah, this is me just being really, really honest with you that I I try to juggle so many balls and sometimes the plates and balls fall. And this is one aspect of life that definitely has. And I know my friend who brought this to me, well, it's been brought to my attention for years, said I am shit at replying. And so people just know that I'm terrible at replying. So I need to get better at that. And I actually feel like a doofus talking about it and telling you guys. And I don't want to come across as a doofus. Right. I put most importantly, appreciate the things we currently have. So often we're looking at what we don't have. We're looking at what the goals we want when we don't really look at what we've got. And when I look at what I've got, it's what money can't buy. I've got a wife. I've got two awesome boys. I've got a great family network. I've got my mum and dad still alive. I've got no health problems, touch wood. And and so I just feel like I feel so lucky. And so we tend to appreciate something only when it's gone. Let's not do that. Let's appreciate it now. What we've got, what you've got, what I've got. And that's my real message for 2025. After thinking about things, I do feel like that we don't really appreciate the things we've got. And tomorrow is somebody's funeral that we're going to, and she got given 2 days to live. I did a message. I didn't know somebody. A friend of mine's, their parents listen to this podcast, and I didn't know. And I was out for a beer with him, and he goes, "What the fucking hell was that message about on Christmas Day?" I was like, I was trying to be positive, but it turned out to be right. If you haven't listened to it, go well, maybe do it, maybe listen to it, maybe don't. And he goes, "My dad rang me up and said, what the fuck's up with Dean?" I was like, I didn't even know you listened to it. And he goes, yeah. I mean, it was so depressing. I was like, oh shit, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it to be depressing. It meant for people to appreciate what they've got. And I think it came across a little bit negative, a little bit like down. And that's obviously, if you know me, that's not at all. I'm like at all. So yeah, so we tend to only appreciate things when they've gone. Let's not do that. Let's appreciate things here and now. And I know it's so hard to keep looking for the shiny object, etc. By the way, I'm going to have to get going. The wife's looking at me. It's 24 minutes past. I am late, and it's only the publishers, and I was supposed to go at 10, and it's 24 minutes past 10. So I'm in trouble. Hopefully, I don't even know if this is recording. Yeah, it's recording. Phew. Right. I love you. I appreciate you. Buy my course, and because it's only available till 7 p.m. tonight. So there'll be a link in the show notes. All right. Love you. Appreciate you. And I'll see you soon after the circus now. I hate circuses. Honestly, do you know why I hate I'm going to go. Do you know why I hate circuses? I hate circuses because I always think that they're going to fall. I'm like, I'm worried about the circus acts. And I was like, okay, right. I said to Claire, because it was like 2 years ago, I was in Peyton watching circuses. And I was like, Claire, I feel so uncomfortable. I don't like it. And I thought, normally, something you're worried about, it doesn't ever happen. And it's unsubstantiated that something you're worried about and it don't really happen. So I Googled it. And it's one of the most dangerous jobs you can have. It wasn't unsubstantiated. It was 100% true. People do die at the circus. I'm like, oh. So I told Clara I'm going, first of all. I said, I ain't going. And she goes, Dean, your mum's already paid for it. And I was like, I ain't going. I don't care. I ain't going circus. And obviously, Claire said I'm going. So I'm going. All right. Love you. Appreciate you. Bye.